Hi, Buddy On here. My co-host Matt Bailey sees a country music queen, and we review our Garth Brooks Legacy collections with mixed opinions from these Garth loyalists that may actually surprise you. Today on the Music Universe podcast. Hi, Matt. How's it going?
Oh my gosh, this has been quite a week, and I'm going to Disney on Sunday. I'm walking on a cloud this week, and I say that I don't want to jinx it. This has just been a really fun week. How about you?
It's been a hectic, crazy couple weeks. I know the last time we spoke, I was in the middle of moving, also potentially at that point, attending a couple concerts. Well, all of that happened, so we are back.
Who'd you see? I don't even think I know. Who'd you see?
Carly Pearce on that Thursday, and then I went to see Joe Bonamassa the next Tuesday, and then I moved.
That's who I wasn't, yeah.
And then now I'm in the new place. The reviews are up on the website of the concerts, which both were awesome, and I'll get to in just a sec. And I'm in my new space, so I'm fully live, loaded, and we're ready to continue this. Not fully moved in, as far as unpacking goes, but that I'm working on. But
my parents have been in the same house for 17 years. They're still not fully unpacked. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
One day, buddy, if you decide to stay in that house, what you're going to do, here's what's going to happen. You're going to buy a storage garage and go, fuck it, and put all the boxes in the storage garage.
Already kind of planning that, but I just haven't pulled the trigger. So the concerts went to Carly Pearce at the Crystal Palace, and my date was my 9-year-old daughter. She wasn't really too familiar with her at that point, but I'm like, hey, I have an extra ticket, you're gonna go. She's like, okay. So got there, and she loves shirts, so concert shirts. So I picked her up a shirt. We literally stood, because it's general admission, and we literally stood right in front of the stage. And during the show, she was signing stuff. She signed my daughter's shirt, and I'm like, now you know you can't wear this because I can't wash it. She's like, so I bought her a second shirt. They were only $25 a piece. So I bought her a second shirt that she wears, and the first one I still need to frame it. But she did get a couple selfies, and one of them, Carly actually gave her bunny ears, so it's rather cute. That's on my Instagram if anybody heads to it. And then the next Tuesday, it was Blues Night at the Fox Theater in town, and it was with Joe Bonamassa. Awesome show, man. If you love good rock and roll, but especially blues, go see him, man. It was killer. No opening act, 14 songs. He made them last 2 hours. I mean, improv is like great. He had 2 subs. The drummer and bassist were subs, and you couldn't tell, dude. And
that's awesome.
It was awesome. So it was a really, really great week of concerts, and both reviews are at the website, themusicuniverse.com. So if you feel inclined, check them out, and definitely go see those artists because they're ones to watch.
Yeah, the shirt thing. It's funny. The concert T-shirt thing. I like concert T-shirts, and this wasn't a concert, but it was a show. Lance Burton, who was a magician in Las Vegas, he came to Pennsylvania and did a show and did a meet and greet after. And I had bought a shirt, and he said, "Do you want me to sign that?" I said, "Oh no, I wear them." He goes, "Oh, you actually wear the shirts? Thank you." So that's great that you bought her one she could wear.
Oh yeah.
I had a great night last night myself at a concert for all the wrong reasons. And I say wrong because they were reasons I wasn't expecting. I've had some good things happen in my personal and professional life, and to celebrate, I spent a little too much money more than I should have before going to Disney, where I know I'm going to blow a nice wad of cash. But she never tours. And one day I would love to do a podcast on Ticketmaster, and we know a lawyer who is like involved in all of these Ticketmaster issues. Ticketmaster, I blame them, had Dolly Parton listed as the headliner for Nile Rodgers' We Are Family benefit. And Nile Rodgers, of course, amazing musician. Nile Rodgers and Chic. If you don't know the name, you know the music because you've been to weddings. It's it's just so freak out, freak, say chic, dance, dance, dance. Just awesome songs. And Dolly Parton was billed as the headliner. Well, Dolly comes out. I buy a ticket because she never tours. Dolly comes out. She does 2 songs. She does 9 to 5 and I Will Always Love You. Now, she claims she was hoarse because she's been doing this Grand Ole Opry 50th anniversary thing, but had she not complained about that, nobody would have noticed. And my personal opinion is it's very un-Dolly. Dolly kind of shows up and does what she's supposed to do, so it makes me wonder if she was only contracted to do 2 songs, because it was a gala benefit for We Are Family, which is Nile Rodgers' foundation to help children. He formed it in the wake of 9/11.
Right.
And it makes me wonder if she was only supposed to do 2 songs, because that's how it was a year and a half ago. I went to a benefit as press for WCBS. It was celebrating their however many years, and Tony Bennett was the honoree. They interviewed, and he did like only 2 or 3 songs, and that was fine. I didn't pay for it, but there were mostly people in there that had paid to see Dolly, and I say it was I blame Ticketmaster because they billed it as Nile Rodgers and Dolly Parton as the headliner, like as a concert. But that's not what it was. Nile Rodgers was a house band. Nile Rodgers was a house band for this benefit, and Dolly just came out, did 2 songs, and then left. I still don't regret it because it was a fun night watching all these rich people just cut loose. It was so funny because you talk about the divides in music. Well, Nile Rodgers, he's produced Madonna, he produced Diana Ross, he wrote We Are Family is his song, but Sister Sledge made it a hit. Right. Nile Rodgers' combined works have sold over 500 million albums. I mean, he worked with Daft Punk and Pharrell on Get Lucky. He produced that. So that's just, and he did a soulful rendition of that last night. So it was worth it for all the wrong reasons. I went in as a country music fan, and I came out as a Nile Rodgers fan because.
Okay, can I ask you what the ticket cost?
Oh, $150.
Oh,
which that's not too bad. And that was with fees. It was $128 without fees, and then Ticketmaster has to, get their cut. And I just did a knife jabbing motion that nobody will see. They have to, stab at your wallet a little bit more.
Right.
But it was so worth it. It was so much fun. It was at the Hammerstein Ballroom, and just if you're a lover of songs and music history, it was awesome. Grandmaster Caz was there. They did the Sugar Hill Gang hit. Oh gosh, the name of the song is but the what's the name of that song? Oh, the Sugar Hill Gang. It's escaping me, and I'm going to look it up now. But they did it last night. That's how tired I was when I got back.
Sounds like you're still tired.
Well, I'm trying to get a lot done before going to Disney.
Yeah,
Rapper's Delight. Rapper's Delight was this gentleman, Grandmaster Caz's song, and Sugar Hill Gang stole it, which I guess went on a lot in the early days of hip hop, but it was really interesting. It was a really, really cool show, and I could go on about it because Dolly is just great, and she never tours. We were talking, a group of us at an intersection as we were leaving to go back to the subway, said that was great. We all thought she was a headliner because that's what Ticketmaster said, because see, it was a gala, and there was an auction, and they were offering these items worth tens of thousands of dollars, and beforehand, while the audience that had bought tickets to come and see the public show, because it was this benefit.
Right.
The main floor was tables for the people that had paid the tens of thousands of dollars to be there, that I guess had been there since earlier in the evening or earlier in the afternoon. The people coming in that were there for the concert thought it was a Dolly Parton show. And we were talking, if she would have just done Jolene, one more song, Jolene, we would have all died happy. And she technically did 3 songs because Nile Rodgers started playing Two Doors Down, and she came out during that, but that was only like half a song. So,
right.
She did 2.5 songs, which I can't complain because she never tours, and I finally got to see her. But it's not, and if I would have been press, it would have been an article, and I would be talking about how much fun we had. And maybe I would have done it, because I've bought tickets sometimes. See, the way this works is we apply for press, and we get credentialed to go see shows, and I very rarely spend more than $500 in a year on concert tickets. How much I spend at concerts, because I go to a lot of them, is another story.
And I rarely ever buy tickets myself.
But if it's Dolly, because she doesn't tour. If it's somebody who doesn't tour and it's going to be an impossible press get, I know it's a worthy investment, because it's me being able to say, I was there, I saw her, I got to see her in person. And I hope she comes back and does a full show, because she was amazing.
Oh, I can't imagine her being less than spectacular, but How long was the show, and when did she make her appearance in that show?
Oh, she was right at the top. They did like a little overture. Not Chic did a little bit of Jolene, then they went into Two Doors, and she walked out, and the crowd went nuts. It was, but she was on stage for about 20 minutes and only did 2 songs. You want to talk about Joe having done 14 songs in 2 hours, which actually was how it was for Dickie Betts, but that's another story entirely. Because she told stories. She talked about the history of I Will Always Love You. She talked about 9 to 5. And so she was on stage for a good amount of time.
Well, that's
she only
good.
did 2 songs. So she has a great personality. Oh my goodness. She is just, she can make a sour day as bright as sunshine. She is just a hero to so many people. And I love her to death, and I hope I get to really see her. And I would go see Nile Rodgers on his own. But it's funny, he was this house band, all these rich people, and at the end they invited everybody up to the stage, and so even the people in the balcony were headed down, and some people from my level actually got on stage. And I have a picture. I almost got on stage. You know me.
Why did they get on stage?
Because at the end they did We Are Family, and he said, you can come up and dance. And everybody did.
Did you?
They had a dance floor in front of the stage. Well, I got close, but then they stopped letting people on. They like closed it off because they were getting close to the end of the song. So, but I tried, and
Yeah,
I
at
would
least
have
you
tried
tried.
even if I was still there as press, because that we talk about this on the show a lot. Fan first. That heightens the experience. Why not? You're there. You're there to have a good time.
Well, I mean,
So-
honestly, a little sidebar. If you're going to a concert, don't you typically, whether you're covering it as press or not, don't you want to be a fan? I mean, you don't want to give a negative review just because you're not a fan. So honestly, I've got to be a fan of someone if I'm going to apply, because it's not fair to that artist, to give them negative just because it's a ticket. No, I'm not like that. I'm not gonna take somebody else's spot that wants it just because I want to be that guy. I'm not like that. So yeah, you've got to be a fan, I think. So that makes sense.
Exactly. I completely agree. So, with that said, let's get to our top story today.
All right. So we've all been waiting for this since February, and you and I took advantage of the first round of pre-orders, and we're talking about Garth Brooks' vinyl collection Legacy. Now, it comes in 3 different boxes, and if you're a fan, you probably got them all in that one of those pre-order windows. They did 4 or 5 of them, and like
at different price points,
right?
Yeah.
And like 500,000 of these things were pre-sold, but they had to hand make them, I should say, in like 4 different countries. And one thing, I don't know if I told
didn't know
you,
that.
yeah, or if you even saw this. If you look on the shipping box, it tells you which boxes were made in what country. Pretty cool.
Ooh. Next time I'm near my collection, which I left in PA, I'll have to look at that.
Oh, well,
and then the numbers.
I'm about to tell you that. But they are numbered, and they came out on Friday. Many people got theirs Friday, some before. Mine, unfortunately, due to the fires, I didn't get it till Monday. And
well, that's why I wanted to do the live stream. You were like, why don't you tape it? And da, 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 da. No, I wanted to do it live so that people could watch it and interact as it was happening, and so that they knew what to expect when they got there. So
right, and we did do a live stream Saturday. Matt did it. Now, the internet's a little choppy on it, so he does have a 4K backup that he's going to work on getting up on our YouTube page at some point.
Yes.
And that'll be fun for everybody to kind of see. But before we get into more of it, the CDs were made in Mexico, and the limited edition sets were made in Germany, the original in France, and then the remix remastered in the Czech Republic. So when you're looking at your label, it literally posts it on the front of the box. And I took a picture of it because I'm not going to keep the box it came in. But I thought that was kind of a neat thing to post, because a lot of times you don't know where these things are made. But
did they do that out of necessity, or is that just one of the things they wanted to do for the uniqueness of this collection and the whole world space thing.
I don't know if it was a necessity thing, but I mean, a lot of times you'll buy a CD and it'll say disc made in Mexico or whatever. So I guess that is kind of common, but I'm not a vinyl guy. So I just buy CDs, and honestly, I don't care where they're made.
Bullshit. You have a whole vinyl collection.
No, I don't. I have like 3 or 4, and they're all like usually rare
Reba
ones. And one of them is framed because I have 3 copies of it. And the original copy I bought actually got a little damaged, so I'm like, all right, now I'm going to go find another copy, and then that wasn't in the shape I wanted, and then the third one wasn't, so I'm like, all right, I'm just going to frame one and stop. Because it can be addicting. So what I want to talk about, besides the uniqueness of the sets, and you can buy each one of these individually at most retailers, including ones that haven't really had a partnership with Garth, Dollar General. In fact, I heard they were selling theirs early. That's probably a no-go. So not to get them in trouble, but
wait, did you say Dollar General?
Yes, Dollar General selling these things for like 40 or 50, 45, 50 bucks, and they were selling them before the November 1st release date, from what I've seen online.
Well, that happened with Man Against Machine. I went to Barnes & Noble the day before it was supposed to come out, and they had it on shelf. So sometimes retailers are allowed to stage the stuff. They're given probably, I would assume, a window of 24 or 48 hours where, if they have to, they can put it out. I
don't know, because I've worked at like retail before that sold music, and they put on there, do not display until this date, or a fine will be issued. So I don't know. They can get in trouble for that, but I don't know the contracts on this side of things, so we'll leave that alone. But I want to talk about the packaging. One thing, I didn't film mine, like I said, and maybe I should have, but not only is it kind of flimsy in spots, some of my vinyls came damaged. Not the records themselves, because I didn't pull every one out, but mostly in my limited edition set, the spine on a couple of the records themselves looked like the disc was just shoved in there, and it literally ripped it. And Triple Live, the same thing. So I did reach out to Talk Shop Live, and I sent them pictures. They were really quick at getting back with me and said they're going to work on getting me a replacement. Now, I don't know what that means, because mine's numbered. I would rather keep the outer box and get the inner vinyls again, or sleeves at least. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but they're working on getting it replaced. And I know a lot of other people actually had a lot of the same issues, including, I think No Fences on the limited edition looked like the cover was scratched. Looked like I had it for 20 years.
Really?
Yeah, and I literally just pulled it out of the box.
Wow.
And a couple of the other packets I've noticed had minor things like that, but the limited edition one stuck out the most.
See, now I'm second guessing my thing, because, I had studio lights going, everything looked okay, but I kind of just, here's my issue with it. I had hoped that there would be enough of a difference between each of the 3 boxes that there would have been a reason to go in depth. So even in the tease that I put on Facebook and Instagram, I tried to promote the heck out of this to get people to come and watch, because this was our first live stream.
Yeah.
I said, we're going to go in depth on this beast, because I thought everything was going to be different. I knew it was going to be the same records, but I thought maybe there would be some different covers, different things that we could talk about. And so once I realized, oh God, this is getting repetitive, and you're in a live broadcast situation, I kind of just went through the last 1 or 2 rather quickly. And now it's making me second guess, and I'm worried that something has happened to mine. But maybe not. I don't know.
You might want to give it a closer look for sure. But I mean, to kind of back up a little bit, there are multiple covers of Triple Live. That's really the only difference as far as covers go. And you're going to get 3 per the 3 sets. So you're going to get a different one in each. But I didn't realize that they I thought they'd be 3 random ones. They're really not. They come in sets. So if you get, I got the whiteout. I got the Ryman, and I can't think of the other one offhand. But if you look at those sets, whatever 3 you got, if somebody got that one, that's the same 3 they got. So they weren't randomly. And I know you got the other 3 sets.
Yeah.
So we got, between the two of us, we got all 6 covers.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
I thought the way it was, at least the way I perceived it, was they would be randomly inserted. You wouldn't get the same one, but you wouldn't necessarily, they wouldn't come in like sets.
No, but that and
I'm okay
sense.
with that. I'm okay with that, because now you just got to be on the hunt if you want to collect them all for the other 3, and that's what's going to get pricey because there's no way to tell till you open them, and you got to buy them individually at that point.
Yeah.
Unless you go to Amazon, and I think they have a 3-pack deal for like $190, but you still don't know what 3 you're getting. You might get the same 3 you just got.
But I also wonder, this is kind of the Garth magical thinking that you and I participate in when we're not talking on here, but I actually wonder how much data they have on fans, because I got Yankee Stadium, and everyone I know who was at Yankee Stadium got Yankee Stadium.
That's crazy, dude. That is crazy. So, you think maybe they're tracking us?
I think they know. I do. Because
Well, I wasn't at the Ryman
credit
show.
cards change, but home addresses very rarely change. So from a data perspective, they can look and see, okay, who was at Yankee Stadium and who ordered this? Okay, let's make sure they get a Yankee Stadium.
That could be. Very well
It's
could be.
not that hard. That's people's dedicated jobs are to analyze data like that.
Right.
And
privacy's
gone.
It did take 8 months to put these things together and get them to us. So that's very likely that happened. And that's an interesting
Because
take,
I feel
'cause
like
didn't
that
think of
emotional moment, where you go, holy crap,
Right.
I was at this show. I think that's something Garth would want his fans to have. Again, that's the Garth magical thinking, but
And you
I
know,
may not be far off.
And I did get the whiteout. Now I saw the show before, or a few shows before the whiteout as part of the tour. And I think the other one I got was the 14 to 2018 World Tour. So I think those are the 3 that came with that set, which would make sense because in 2016 I saw him on that tour.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting. It's a cool concept to think about there, and you could be right. You very well could be right.
Well, my issue is the packaging. The sleeves are just too flimsy. That I'm sorry, and it's the same as the digital stuff is the same as the Ghost Tunes stuff. The remixed remastered is the same as the remixed remastered when he launched Ghost Tunes in 2015,
Right.
and Triple Live was in Anthology last year. We are a year from the release of the main. He did the fan mix for free.
Right.
I had thought what would be a cool idea after seeing what they did with the Triple Live covers is why not, and this would make people hunt and this would sell records. They should have been the shows that the cover corresponded to, which I had also wished he would have done back in Double Live. But for this, he's done so many more cool special event shows with Ryman and Yankee and the milestone shows. That would have been cool. And it would have said, okay, I got the 7 Diamond one, now I want the Yankee. And
Yeah.
I have the Yankee Stadium because reasons. I have the Yankee Stadium show.
I do too.
Because, not illegally, just not bootlegged or anything, but people were selling screeners. AT&T, and it's out of Garth's hands. They can't do anything about it. AT&T or Dish or whoever it was sent the screeners, and then people sold the screeners on eBay, and I got a screener.
And some of us were lucky enough to find them really cheap.
Yeah. So I'm lucky to have a professional recording of that, the full thing, not just like a rip or something. But
Right.
having the audio would have been really cool. Would have been really,
But
really
you know,
cool.
he just like he did with Double Live. He's doing the commemorative multi covers. Now in the packaging, the CDs come in like a double sided sleeve almost. It's a cardboard thing, and the discs slip right in. When I opened limited edition, one of them was out. It was upside down. It fell out. I just put it back in. Wasn't a big deal. Didn't scratch or anything. But the discs correspond with the vinyl artwork. So the whiteout disc is, all of them are white, and it says whiteout on it, and so forth. So when you're checking out videos online, you're seeing, well, why does that say entertainer on it? Well, that's that vinyl cover. But I'm waiting for the CDs of this as a standalone, because he's gonna, I mean, when Double Live first came out, he did 7 covers, and there were 6 in the limited edition. And I think we're up to like 11 or 12 by the time it ran its course with the 2014 reissue with the DVD. And I'm waiting for not only the standalone, but the multiple covers, which I would imagine they would be the vinyl versions and maybe a few others, but also additional tracks. On this one, you do get All Day Long as a bonus track. I haven't listened to it yet. I've just been, like I said, I got it Monday and just haven't had time to sit and listen to it. So clearly that's from Notre Dame. But, and it makes sense because that was, I believe, the first time they actually performed it live, and then they started working on this collection. So there's no way he could have done it in March in St. Louis and gotten him the audio necessarily. I mean, I guess he could have, but there you go. So we know it's from Notre Dame. Many other songs, and he even said All American Kid's going to be on there when it's released on standalone. So when's this thing coming out is what I'm wondering. And then how many covers are we going to get? Now, I did not go after all the Double Live covers. I just got the limited edition, then I got the reissue. Because to me, the limited edition ones are the ultimate one. I don't necessarily need them all. I just need the one that he dubs limited edition. For whatever reason, it's limited.
What I want to know is why isn't, when he re-released stuff, what song, I think it was More Than a Memory or Midnight Sun. Some of the songs that he had released when he released his Ultimate Hits, he found a home for them on like Scarecrow, I think it was. Those weird songs that he released, the weird one-off songs that he released as part of Ultimate Collection Target, those live songs, In Another's Eyes, which there's an In Another's Eyes on Triple Live, but American Pie, Midnight Sun, I think, or one of the Ultimate Collection CD ones is also a live one. Why don't those have a home on Triple Live? Where are those? See, my issue is, I know Garth cares about his fans, and I know we love our relationship with his team, and we love Garth, and we would never say anything or do anything to harm that. But we're not gonna be honest. We're not gonna not be honest. Okay.
Right.
And this is the most obvious numbers grab. I'm not going to say money grab because he doesn't need the money. This is the most obvious numbers grab that he's done. There aren't enough. If you are a music collector and you're looking for new hidden gem music, this isn't the set for you.
Right.
Okay. The Target Ultimate Collection box set is for you because it's like, it's like finding the chocolate chip cookie dough in the middle of the ice cream. There's not a lot there, but it's there and it's great and it's delicious. This is for the aesthetic collector. This is for if you're not going to really do anything with it, you may play the records once. You may want to hear the difference between the cut on the limited edition of the Legacy, the thicker vinyls versus the standard vinyls that you have on the three sets. This isn't if you're looking for hidden music that he did with that Ultimate Collection. And no, you get one new song on Triple Live. So to me, it's the most blatant numbers grab to make all those other albums go diamond, to get the other albums to sell more. Because think about it, Triple Live, he sold 500,000. There's technically 9. There's No. There's 9 plus 9. There's 18. There's 18 triple lives sold per set because each disc counts on its own.
Right.
9 vinyls, 9 CDs. So 18 times 500,000 is 9 million.
So this thing's almost diamond right out.
So it's
right away.
almost diamond. Right at the get. He just needs to sell 1 million more. So really, he only needs to sell 333,000 more.
Exactly.
It's the most obvious to figure out what's going on here. Now, we could be assuming he could not be trying to get the numbers on this one. I believe he also wanted to do something because vinyl's back in fashion, and I believe he wanted to do this creatively, but there's nothing new. And that's the most disappointing thing.
Well, and that's what I was going to get at, that he's catering to the vinyl collectors. This isn't for somebody, like you're saying, that wants to explore something rare. This is for the people that have been begging for vinyl. He's given it to them in 3 unique packages, or 1 if you bought them together. And he's thrown CDs in there. And, that's kind of what it's for. It's for the collector. It's not really for the person that is digging for gold, really, unless they've never experienced Garth music before, and now they can get the vinyl and the CDs together for a low price.
And it is a great gift for the collector in your family. It really is, especially if they want something. They're a vinyl collector, or they just want something special, and they know they're not going to get anything new, but It is special. I will say, I had a thought and lost it.
All right, hold on. Pause real quick. I got to let the
Don't
dog
pause recording. Just
I won't.
Here we go.
Okay, I'm back. I've got my headphones. Okay.
You had asked me when we were about to do the live stream, because it came Friday, and I got back from New York to PA on a Friday night. How are you not tearing into this thing? I knew what to expect. If there would have been new music, and I would have known that there was new music, it would have been harder, and I probably wouldn't have done an unboxing. And that sounds terrible to say, but it's just preference. I want it because I'm a Garth collector, and I'm happy with it from that standpoint.
Exactly.
But don't get this thinking you're going to get new music. It is. I'm not even importing the CDs. I pulled all day long, and that's it. The CDs, we have it because Triple Live, and this is a tip. If you think you're going to hear different versions of Triple Live, no, that was digitally recorded. So there's no analog version. So Triple Live is in the analog set digitally on the discs, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So don't get this if you think you're going to find something hidden. That's not what this is. This is for the aesthetic collector and the vinyl collector, and that's it. There's nothing wrong with that. Garth, we love you. But this is the most obvious, just it's for the numbers and the collectors, and that's it.
Right. And I feel the same way. I love them. I'm glad I got them. And I've had other people be like, well, I'm kind of second guessing that I should have bought this. I'm like, why? Like, because there's nothing new on it. It's like, but you kind of knew that when you bought it, because he told us what albums were in there. And
Well,
he did say bonus tracks, but I had already expected the bonus tracks that were on the original limited series box set in '98 to be those that would follow on this. And I'm okay with that because it is a different package. And honestly, again, you're going to call bullshit on it, but I am not a vinyl collector for the most part. I may actually buy a vinyl player now, but I don't know that I'll play the records. I know, it's weird. It's weird.
I get it.
So if anybody was going to get me into vinyl, let it be Garth.
Exactly. And the problem is, he repackages his stuff. 80% of the collections we've been talking about that had new stuff were all older stuff. And he started doing this a lot when he came back. And it was fine when he was retired because it was like, oh, the old Garth with a little bit of new. But now that he's back, my advice to him, if he listens to fans, would be lean into these special shows. You recorded them, you taped them, you made a big deal about the fact that you did. Where's that material?
Right. Like
give it to us.
There's an unreleased Vegas show somewhere.
Yeah.
In the middle of that tour, he did
an unreleased Vegas arena show.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to get the standard arena show on tape.
Yeah, so it's out there somewhere. He just hasn't done anything with it. And what I would like to see, and again, this is from a fan standpoint, I would love to see an updated Entertainer box set like he did years ago on DVD. I'd like to see it with the Ryman, Yankee Stadium, the Vegas show, and whatever else he may have, even if it's a compilation of shows from the 3-4 year tour and Notre Dame, of course, since we got that now, and do another 5-disc box set of some sort with songs, but not edit them like they were from the VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And do another, DVD box set. That would be awesome. Or could that be an anthology somewhere? Because he did jump to the live anthology and then only included CDs.
You know what's interesting? The fact that he jumped to the live anthology made me wonder if he was giving up on it.
No, I think it was because, like he said, he was fresh off the stadium run and he wanted to keep that in people's minds.
Yeah.
But Triple Live could have done that as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
In standalone form. But I get the whole book form because then it's fresh on his mind and it's fresh on people that were just living that experience to go back in book form and in pictures and read the stories and see the photos and then relive the music. So I totally get that. It confused the hell out of people because you went from 1 to 3 and I guess we're going to 2 at some point. But it makes sense why he did that. And then I get also not releasing multiple projects at once because honestly, when he released the Ultimate Collection from Target and then Gunslinger a month later, it really or 2 weeks later, Gunslinger standalone got lost in that.
Yeah.
So it's too hard to push multiple releases, and that's why Fun now, even though it's been a year and a half since we've heard music from it, is being pushed to spring of 2020 because if he released it now, either that or Legacy, something would get lost within that promotional period. And Garth's thing is he loves to release stuff in November for holiday purchasing, but I hope we don't have to wait another year for Triple Live standalone.
I agree.
But I got a feeling we will because we're either going to wait a year or 2. And I think the reason Triple Live standalone hasn't come out because he wants to present the best recordings, and while he's got plenty of those on the tour, he's making new ones now with the stadium track, and he's most likely going to include those songs. He did record.
They sound great. All Day Long sounds great and sounds so full.
And he did record, Dive Bar with Blake, so it's possible that he just doesn't want to release Triple Live and then reissue it again. Not that he won't, but because he did say we would see future reissues of it. But I think he's wanting to really put more out there on it, and that's why we've not had the standalone yet. And maybe we'll get new covers too, because now he's got the Stadium Trek. So, and then he's even got the Dive Bar series. Man, I would love for there to be a recording, or at least covers, of the Dive Bar shows, because whether that's limited edition or not, I was at one and I'm grabbing it. That would be awesome, Garth. Please do that. You got 7 dive bars. Make a package out of that, at least for covers, and that would be killer.
Yeah, I agree. Well, speaking of dive bars, he's doing 2 in one day.
Yeah, he's
and
back
I'm going to
in
be
your
on a
neck of the
boat.
woods.
And I'm going to be on a boat. I told you this would happen. I predicted I'd be in Disney, but I'm going to be on a boat at that time doing some other things. It's weird. I did not mean for this to happen, but I have 2 vacations within 2 weeks of each other. I'm not lazy, folks. I work very hard. But I don't deserve 2 trips. It just happened.
No, and because that happened, you're
2 opportunities.
You're going to miss the Garth Dive Bar.
Yes, I am. And I'm jealous, but you got to go, and you wrote about it on themusicuniverse.com, and you had a blast. And frankly,
oh, it was awesome.
And frankly, I would have fun. I would enjoy it. It would probably be awesome. But I'm real sick of open seating, open standing, open general admission. I'm sick of it. The older I get, and I'm only 25, I could do it when I was 20, 21, 22, 25, 26. I know it's not too far off, and I'm still spry, but it's like, let me frickin' sit.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was at my show, I could have been up extremely close to the stage, but the place is so small anyway that it didn't matter where I stood. I stood literally right dead center of the stage, on right behind the stairs. His professional photographer was right next to me some of the time.
He had to see you. I'm sure he saw you.
Sure he did. I'm sure he did. And I chatted with a couple of the band members afterward. I was chatting with his publicist before, and then I got shooed away because they were trying to block off the area. And they know me there, but, it's Garth, and they're going to take extra, precaution, and I get that. So I was kind of shooed away, and, but not before I spoke to his publicist, and very, very cordial. I love those guys. They're great. Garth is great. His band was super cool. And, one I didn't get to talk to was Mike Palmer. And I started to, and then he ended up walking away. And the last 2 dive bar shows, though, are the same day in 2 different states. So that's pretty cool. We'll find out more details as far as times go later on. But that's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun, though.
Yeah, I'm excited. I wish I could go, and it's kind of killing me because I know it's going to be a little bit till he gets up here with the Stadium tour, and the fact that he's ending Dive Bar up here may or may not mean that it'll be a little while, but who knows? A limited number of people can get into those. He may end up in the new year actually hitting the places he did Dive Bar next.
No, he could.
To open it up to more people. So anyway, but that's just speculation, and that's it for today. We could talk about this for hours, but I got to get running, get back to work here, getting ready for my trip. So thank you, buddy. This is always fun.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have to do it again next week, or whenever you're back. We'll put it that way.
Absolutely.
I can't keep track of your schedule, dude. You're always on the go.
So trust me, most of the time, neither can I keep track of it.
It happens. All right, guys. Well, check out themusicuniverse.com for the latest news, reviews, and release info. And we're working on some guests to continue with the podcast. And we hope to see you next time.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. How you doing, man?